7 years of experience in the industry. I was in a private consultancy firm, then in Bureau of Indian Standards for 25 years in various capacities. Then I worked as an MD for an international certification body. And last 2 years, I have been on my own work, and I'm a freelance consultant. So healing. So healing, it is something like this. Actually, I was personally extremely close to yoga from the beginning. And then I slowly went into Reiki, learning Reiki, like in past life regressions. I used to read a lot of books on that. And then about 2 years back, not more than 2 years back, I took a special sessions which is being organized by the Yoga Institute, which is in Ashoka Road, Delhi. I took sessions for 3 months on yoga as well as meditation. And it's not just that during that time, but I was doing all these practices on my own self, giving it to my friends and families, those who wanted it. Because it is very important and to be actually aligned to this subject, to accept that this is possible. So what I'll be taking you through some particular slides, which will be nothing new to you, let me tell you. But give me some time and accept it with open heart and mind, and we will have some questions at the end. During the time of lockdown, we are not having much work. We're all stationed at home, and we are looking at the same people whom we used to see every day and night. So it is giving us time to be more compassionate, to have a look with grace and gratitude towards life. And there is also a feeling that we want to do something for the world. You have plenty of time to look into yourself. You can reorganize your works. You can sort of aim to overcome your sufferings, which could be holistic health, happiness, harmony, and also that the whole world is looking up to India for the best Vedantic practices. Everyone is now talking about eating, I would say, the best things that are, we say kada, we say haldi milk or the turmeric milk and other things. So we all need to understand that the Mother Earth has a self-healing mechanism. But with the invasion of COVID-19, we have seen that it is having minimum external interventions by humans, and to a great extent, Mother Earth has healed itself. How many of us believe that humans also have a self-healing mechanism? We often ignore our natural repair process and resort to external support and ignore the very thing that we need to heal. By this, I do not say that you stop taking any regular treatment or whatever process that you are having at the moment. This session is just to make you aware and conscious of our own self, what we are. And you need to tap the immense resource that lies within and around us. We are all management professionals, right? On the left side, you see the terms which will be very common to you. You address them as you design your documentation system for any organization which is seeking a management system. Now, hello, yes?
Can you make the slide to the full screen, if you don't mind?
I'll do that. Yes, I'll do that.
Thank you.
Just a minute. Is it better? But I'm not, yes.
Thank you.
Is it okay now? Okay.
Okay.
So we see that the terms on the left are very friendly with you. You are aware about you. Whenever you do design any management system, you first see what are the objectives and vision and mission of the organization. You identify what the organization is all about, who are the leadership people, what process management you need to put in place, what resources you have. You do performance analysis and evaluation, and then you also look into the sustainability of the business. So here we are looking at our own self. You have to look about what is the purpose of your life. Is it only to earn money or to have a good health? to be having good people around, but it is not in your hand to have good people around. So how do you make yourself and protect yourself from all those things around you? You identify your own self, who you are as a person. Is your mind balanced? Is it in harmonious condition all the time? Is it in goodness? Does it have purity? Is it constructive? Is it creative? Is it peaceful? It is virtuous, and all those things, Then are you just aware of the physical needs or comforts of your body? What about the psychological needs, emotional and spiritual needs? Do you want them? Are you aware of it? That there is an untapped energy within you. Do you have any willingness to learn about your own self? Because you are your own resource. So the resource, the acceptance has to come from you. Do you respect this science? Do you respect this technology? Then how strong you are physically, mentally, and emotionally in times of distress. Everyone in this universe will be having some tension or the other. But the beauty is how fast one is able to overcome. Whether you have a fight or flight technology, what kind of adoption or actually what kind of path you take. Are you having some preventive actions in place? Then sustainability, what is your sustainability plan for yourself? But will you be able to do it unless you know what you can take? Who is there to help you out? What are the things that are available? So for that, you have to understand first who you are. What does your body contain? 80% of us, maybe even more, will think that it is only the physical body. But no, it is not so. You will see that we have 5 layers that cover us. Yes, in normal, simple terms, if you see, we have a physical body, then we have energy body, we have mental body, we have a wisdom and a blissful body. In our Vedantic practices, they are told by Annamaya Kosh, Pranamaya Kosh, Manomaya Kosh, Vigyanmaya Kosh, and Anandmaya Kosh. I just briefly touch upon, because the intention is not to teach you about all these things, but just to make you aware that these things exist. Whenever you take any path, these things have to be considered. So Annamaya Kosh is basically the food sheath. It is composed of the food stuff that we eat, and it is farthest away from the source, which receives, and it receives the least light and radiance. It is on the outermost body that you see. But by physical practices, we can witness with clarity the various layers. Physical body, as we said, is also known as the gross body. Second bit comes the Pranamaya Kosh, or the energy body, which is the vital air sheath. We can feel the sensation through it, but we can't see the energy. You would have heard many people saying that we have the energy flowing through us. We have about 72,000 nadis that feeds the energy to the organs of our body. Are these the nadis? Are these the veins? No. These are just the energy channels. So energy channels which connect various parts of the body. So the beauty is you have to have a clean channel so that every part of your body gets energy. And we all know that if there's no oxygen, we are not going to survive. Are we appreciating the oxygen that we are getting free of cost? We lost I would say the luxury of having free water anywhere. But let the time be, let the clock be there, and let us understand that it is as important to understand the importance of air, fresh air, not only outside, within our body also. So next is the Manomaya Kosh, which is the mental sheath. Mental sheath, it receives all the inputs and digests sensory impressions which we receive from the outer world and environment. We can also, in simple words, we can say it is manas, or the mind, or the thought process, thinking, feeling, and also willingness. It is most connected with the eyes. That is why sometimes we say man ki aankhon se dekho. Right? What is man ki aankh? Like we say, beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. For one person, it is extremely good. For the other person, it is not so good. For the other person, it may be so bad, So it is the man ki aankh. It is your own mind with which you see and accept anything that is being served to you. The fourth one is the Vigyannamay Kosh. We call it the psychic knowledge and the awareness. It includes the consciousness and the will, how willful you are. It encompasses all other functions of the higher mind. It digests and analyzes the sensors and the impressions which are received from the outer mind, which is the
Your voice has come down.
Just a minute. Is it better? Is it better?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, quite.
It will, the Vigyannamay Kosh receives the messages which are coming from the Manamay Kosh. So it will be able to digest and analyze the sensory impressions which are received from the mind. This is, we can also call Buddhi. The last and the most ignored and the most important is the Anandmay or the blissful sheath. We call it bliss body. It is the innermost of these Panchakosh, and it is a state where the mind is steady and does not fluctuate with conditions which are prevailing outside. You are actually firmly rooted to your own self, and like at the same time, even when you interact with others, you may be fighting, you may be unhappy, but it doesn't affect you. It is very normal for any person to get, perturbed by anything, but how fast you're able to come back to your normal self is the thing that we have to look forward to. Yes. Next, the course that I have said, we have to basically relate it to what are the healings that we can do with these courses. If I want to heal my outer body, then it is the condition that your body is in. So you have to be addressing your physical body so that it remains free from any diseases and your fitness level is extremely high. The second course, which is the psychological, it is like an ailment or problem having mental rather than physical. So it states about the mental well-being of the person. And let me tell you that in Indian society, what happens is we have psychological helps, or we have the particular particular counselors who are there. But what happens is, it's okay, you go and take them, but it always comes with a tag. Oh, what is the problem? Somebody has gone mental. It is not so. So why not start doing your own self? Once you understand what you are, you will be able to understand how to tackle these issues. Third is the emotional. The third layer which we had is the Manomay, where the feelings that are easily excited and openly displayed. Some people get annoyed at the drop of the hat. They immediately lose their temper if something doesn't go their way. So people who are emotionally healthy, they are in control of your thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. So, and fourth is the psychic, which possesses the abilities such as mansik, psychic, and spiritual, supernatural, where we go for maybe past life regressions. If you're not able to, this is what we relate it to. The fifth is the spiritual, which is healing your body, mind, heart, and soul. Right. So we are professionals, we are management professionals. We are not going deep into it. I'm not there. We are not there to see that, okay, what these things, how to heal about it. But we are going to an extent so that the moment you become aware about your own self, you will be able to handle them yourself in a very good way. And you will be able to help your society also. And why? Because it is so important that every human being remains healthy, physically as well as mentally. Because only when you are healthy, you are having these kinds of, I would say a happy attitude, will you be able to contribute to your family, to your neighbors, to your society and community at large. And we are having all positions, like we may be an employer, you have a friend, you have siblings, partners, you may be a parent, you may be a grandparent, and not to forget a citizen. You are a responsible citizen. So what role do we have? It is our responsibility to ensure that every human being remains healthy and harmonious. whether it is your family or it is in your office or anything that you come across. We are so committed to our work professionally, but just think, are we having some thoughts about this, about our internal revolution or internal evolution rather, right? It is not just living khaliya, piliya and bas kaam kar liya, you get a salary, do the good house and other things. Have any one of us ever thought what is the purpose of our life? Very few people we would find they would discover early in their life. So, and some in 30s and 40s, some in post 55 is very common, and some never ever get related to their life at all. So I think I missed it. Yes. I just tried to say, because the purpose of life, the value, the terms, the technology, the terminology changes with every stage. As a young child, they may be only, the purpose of life is to have good toys, fancy clothes, to get admission in a good school, later to find good grades, have to enter into a good college, have good friends around, have a fun life. From 15 to 22 years, they may be having some various, which college to get in, although they have to get a good score, the dresses, the cars, motorbikes, and all fancy things. Later on, they get jobs, salary, getting married, having children. From 25 to 55, the focus is on these things only, getting into materialistic things, sorting out our family and all. 55 plus years where the guilt start pouring in, majority of them. What have I done in my life? Was I ever good to the society? But this is the time now to look back and see what you have gained. But here the focus is only health, not on your professional achievements. So let's now not wait for the clock of life as it keeps ticking. Let's get awakened. But before you get awakened, you have to accept that, yes, this is something which exists. This is something which I can change. So it is very important as a first step towards self-healing. Once you understand that it is important to remain healthy, with so much of pollution around and the foods that are, having so much infections, what kind of body you have and your mind, so that it remains immune to what is happening around. You are not affected by things around you. Some people say that somebody has a good stamina, like the moment weather changes, some people immediately catch cold and they have to go for I would say a session, going to doctors and taking antibiotics. Some people may not be affected by it. So the crux is how much you remain connected to your body. This is extremely important. And I think even if you are not practically a yoga practitioner, you don't need to be a yoga practitioner to be connected to your body. You are a human being. The God has given you this body. So you have to develop your own ways to heal. When will you develop? Provided you remain connected to every part of your body. I would like to honestly to get some remarks that how many of you ever feel that you in your body unless it starts giving you pain? You completely ignore whether you have joints, you have your own stomach, you have a heart to beat, you have lungs to breathe. Consciously, when you breathe, you will see that you're not filling your lungs to the 100%. We just breathe in not more than 25 to 30 and exhale. We are in a hurry. We are in a hurry to breathe. How many of us really consciously breathe that, okay, let me fill all my alveoli with full oxygen. Oxygen is life. Only when oxygen is there 100%, that oxygen will go to every part of your body. So yes, it is important. It may sound funny, but yes, do talk to each part of your body. Once in a day is enough. And when you talk, don't say that I have no time. I mean, in 24 hours, you can always extract when you're walking, you're talking. You can always see that, yes, every part of your body is fine, because that part before it goes out of the track will give you some signals. And you will find the more you practice, you will see that the more you are connected with it, you will be more enabled to cure your own self, to heal yourself. So you have to learn to unlock the signals which your body is giving. You have to listen, no? You have to learn that language. I can speak Hindi, I can speak English, I can speak a bit of Tamil, I can speak a bit of Gujarati, but I may not be the best in it. If I have to understand, if I have to have a full conversation with them, I have to spend some time to learn that language. Similarly, you have to listen to your body and learn how and what way it is saying, because it will vary with each individual. I don't know, something my laptop gets. So these are the steps. You have to be aware about that part of your body. You have to listen to it. No harm in talking to them, loving them, pampering them, energizing them, stretching them. And then the whole healing process becomes extremely, extremely easy and simple. Yes, in this era, we are flooded with WhatsApp messages. It's full of how to heal this, how to heal that. Yes, you have to develop your own way of healing, your own, because your body may accept. Somebody may be at ease with one particular methodology, which the other may not. But the crux is that you have to try it out with faith. And once you have that faith, you can see miracles happening around. We know that there are certain hormones which are known to promote the positive feelings, including happiness and pleasure. And the opposite also applies, that if you remain positive and happy, you would see that these hormones are secreted, which would further enhance your positivity and happiness. You find many people, the moment they enter the room, you feel enlightened, wow, what a personality. Because, I mean, you have not met the person, you have only seen him physically, but you are not able to see what is there deep inside. It is that happiness, that positivity which gets radiated in the room. I mean, we find some people, the moment they come, you feel so depressed. The moment you look at them, you feel depressed. So what do you want to be? This is your own roadmap which you have to design. And once you have accepted it, that yes, it is there, you will be automatically engulfed in the chakra of optimism. You will be a chirpy, lively, joyous person in your attitude and in your lifestyle, whatever may be your condition back at home, in your office, in the environment. And that's what we are aiming at. We all know that, yes, like in the beginning, I told Mother Earth is a sustainable entity, so is a human body. From the renewable cells to all the ways of emotional healing, your body is capable of self-healing in extremely ways. Of course, there are some other experts who are available. So this is just so that you are a happy person and you're able to build the other person in such a manner also. And what we can learn from natural healing is how to tune your own process. And when you tune the process, you have to know what lies ahead of you. What are the various ways in I can heal myself. And definitely it is not a complicated scene at all. If I can do it, maybe everyone else can do it. Because I was not someone who had taken that, who was deep into yoga or self-healing or Reiki. It is something which I learned in the process, being in my professional work. It is as simple as switching on, like you put the switch on, you get the light, you switch off, you go it back. It is something which you can do it extremely, extremely, I would say, in a very simple way. And it is not complicated at all. Just by few simple steps, you can immediately bring peace into your mind and body. Because it is not only the energy that you're taking from the food that you have eaten, it is the energy that you are taking from the universe, the positive waves that exist in the universe. There is so much of energy in the sun. There is so much of energy around you. That's what you have to take. And you will be able to take only when you have opened your mind and body to accept that. Yes, you can tune your energy body and use the thoughts and emotions to change the frequency and flow of your energy. And I'm not joking. you are a very, suppose a person is a very calm and composed person. What do you do of the person who is in front of you? He could be your boss, he could be your spouse, he could be your relative. You tell him, you will get a return, you will get something like, um, uh, like something, I mean, you can't do something to the other person, you can do to your own self. So what do you do now? You use your own energy to calm the other person down, to change the frequency, to change the direction of the scene that may be going. It may sound extremely funny and you may not be able to accept it, but it is something, when you try, then you can do it. And why do I come here to say that? Because I have done it on my own self, I have done it to my friends, people who are suffering from various kinds of sickness. They are doing their own medical treatment, but every medical treatment doesn't help. There could be one medicine which is extremely beneficial to one person. The same medicine doesn't give, because the body is different, the mind is different. We only see the body, but we do not see the other 4 layers inside. How acceptable the person is to the treatment that is being given to them. So let's make our life move into a new direction with ease and let the miracles happen in your life. Now, what is healing? First, we have to start. You have to understand, you have to be in tune that yes, it is there. How much it is helpful to you or not helpful to you, leave that aside. Because this experience of energy healing is extremely unique to every individual. Anything which is effective to me will not be effective to you. Anything which is effective to you may not be acceptable to the third person. And yes, we do feel it as a various kinds of feelings we have. It could be relaxed, it could be warming, it could be pleasant also. So, but it is very important, once you understand into it, you will find the change of your moods also. I have seen people who do meditation. When you start doing meditation, you will find, the people have different kinds of moods. Some get very, very emotional. Some get very angry. Some start crying. So it is your own body. You understand what it is, and then you go ahead. So the 5 kosh that I said, which is having various layers, the physical body starting from the first. Now our focus is only on physical body. The next steps are for the psychological, where you have to be how positive you remain. There are different ways to do it, and you will be able to do it yourself, provided you are able to step on the first, which is physical healing, which is by yoga sadhana, for which you have to have faith and confidence. Second one, as I told, is psychological, where you have to take every event with positivity. Third is emotional, where you go one step ahead, you do meditation. Psychic, where you go with the flow, for regression sessions and all. Last but not the least is the spiritual meditation. Once you take this path, you will feel they're all interrelated. You cannot separate the physical healing with psychological healing, emotional healing. They will automatically, the moment you choose the path, you will get directions from your mind, from your body to go into the next step. So how do I do it? First step is you have to be accepting this theory, and you have to remain connected to your own self. So here I'm giving you a few points only. I mean, obviously we can go on and on. The theory part can go to various, I would say, lectures, one after the other. But yes, the first step towards self-healing is to remain connected to your own self. How do I do it now? The moment you get up in the morning, because after you get up, then your whole morning course will start. And this is the best time where you don't have to go to the office. So why not start now during the lockdown sessions? As you get up in the morning, you thank your parents, your ancestors, and seek their blessings. You will say, yes, I'm doing it. I'm not denying that you're not doing it. But yes, do it with conscience. Do it with as if they are coming and blessing you. Have them in your mind, manas, man se dekho unko, and unse ashirwad lo. Seek their blessings. You spend 5 minutes to breathe consciously, because I'm saying when you are in bed, you can always spend 10 more minutes to be in the bed and, just stretch yourself, meditate, and thank the Supreme. Because after you get down, then maybe you have to start with your daily routines. Try sitting in sun for the 5 minutes. Try taking in energy from the third eye. We all know where the third eye lies, on our forehead, between the two eyebrows. Yes, you will be able to do that provided you are able to follow the steps that we have done. But you can always try it. Give it a chance and feel that how you feel energized during the day. When you start, definitely there will be as I told my earlier slide, there will be a lot of changes in your, I would say, mind, in your thought process. They could be for good, they could be for bad also, but don't be perturbed by it. Keep continuing it and you will see the difference. When you are sitting in the office, we have to take stretches around every 2 hours, take a round. You can always breathe consciously that yes, I'm inhaling in, I'm exhaling out. As I inhale, the oxygen is reaching various parts of my body, and especially to that body which is a sensitive area where you have some problem. You may be having some pain in your back, pain in your neck, or any other place. So when you breathe, you consciously oxygenate that area. And when you sleep at night, spend 5 minutes again to breathe consciously, stretch, meditate, and thank the Supreme. You can always massage and energize your sensitive areas where you have the pain. And slowly you have to bring yoga into your life. Now, you will say, yes, I do yoga every day. That's very good. But do you know what yoga is all about? Yoga is not just what we see on WhatsApp messages and other things. They are basically asanas and the physical postures. So what we have to do is, there are certain, we call that the 8 limbs of yoga, which are the Ashtanga Yoga. We are not going deep into it because that's not your area, but you can always learn provided you have actually tuned your mind to learn that. For anything to be successful, you have to practice these first and second, which is the yam or the restraints, and the niyam, which are the observances and duties. We call them do's and don'ts. And these yam and niyam are prerequisite for any yoga practice. And this is nothing but anything which our parents, which our ancestors have already told us, to be soft in talking to each other, to be having good thoughts, not only by our words, but by our mind also, and our feelings towards others. Third is the asana, which is the physical posture, which we go and address the various asanas and the postures which we see normally, which is Paschimottanasana and all those things. Fourth is the pranayama, which is the breathing practices. Fifth is pratyahar, where we have sense restraints. Sixth is dharana, where we concentrate, and dhyan and samadhi, which is meditation, and samadhi is the last step, which is the complete integration. So it is your own journey. You have to decide your roadmap, as I told in the beginning, as a professional. It is your body where you want to go, but when you go, you please observe these things and the process will be easier. So once you have done that, this, what I'm saying, is nothing new. We all know it, but make it a practice. Only when you are able to do it regularly, you will find the changes in you. If you do it now, when we say that a person has a good stamina doesn't come in a day. It comes with a regular practice. So try drinking 2 glasses of lukewarm water every day as you get up before in the morning. And we all know the advantages before we take it, like your mouth is having a lot of alkali. The moment it goes down, before it will mix up with the acid in your stomach and it will neutralize it. It has got its own advantages. You can soak cumin or fenugreek seeds a night before and drink that. And drink consciously. Sit and drink the water. Drink it in sips. And if you try to consume 80% of the water during the day, before noon, which is 2 p.m., you will see the change, how happy you are, and you don't have to get up at night to to actually ease yourself. And do not take water at least 30 minutes before and after the food intake. These are the things which I have practiced on my own self. We have seen it, and people may be practicing on their own also. But it makes a lot more of difference the moment you start doing it consciously and with happy mode. Try doing Suksham Vyayam in the morning. There are very simple exercises for your eyes, for throat, cheeks, ears. They are available. I mean, you can look around, which are there available by Swami Dhirendra Brahmachari. But the main important point is, as you breathe, you need to concentrate on the area, which is the sensitive area, and the area for which the yoga or this particular Suksham Vyayam is being done, as you inhale and exhale. Try to observe yourself as you breathe in and breathe out. As I told you earlier, we do not fill our alveoli to the fullest. Normal practices, when you breathe consciously, breathe in slowly and breathe out slower. You should try to maintain 1:2 ratio. If you breathe in for, say, 10 counts, you exhale in 20 counts. Now you will say, obviously, you'll not do it. So when you do practice, make your own rules, make your own, I would say, benchmarks, and try improving upon them. Start with 5 and 10, do it with then next time 6 and 12. You'll see the change in yourself. As I told earlier, you have to concentrate on the area where you want to heal. You have to breathe slowly as if that area is enriched with oxygen and getting healed. You need to give positive commands to yourself before you start working or doing an activity. This is something which we have always been told. Even actually yesterday, I was watching the Ramayana serial which was coming. Even there, the Rishi had told Sita, please give positive waves to Ram because you have now separated from him, and because she was telling that he must be in a very sad mood and all, and he was also telling her, please send positive waves to Ram so that he gets cheered up. So this is not, we all know that it is as old as our in the particular Dwapar Yuga and all. Try applying mustard oil on the soles of both the feet at night. You apply mustard oil, coconut oil, or any olive oil that you feel on your belly button, and you will find so much of healing into your body. If your body is dry, some people have a very dry body, the moment they start itching, blood starts coming out. Best thing is to apply mustard oil. You will find it all. So find the way to heal your own self, which suits you. Some people may not find mustard oil comfortable. Put coconut oil. Try the change and see the change yourself. Because these are the things which are very simple. You don't have to do anything extra for that. When you take bath, rub your feet with the pumic stone. Obviously, you will take some time to do the acupressure. So why not do it at the time? It takes only 5 seconds to rub your feet with the pumic stone. Next is my favorite thing, which is 2 roasted cloves each day. This is something that I heard from Swami Ramdev, and I've been practicing it for more than 10 years. And touch wood, I've not had any throat problem during change of seasons and other things. And it really helps. It may help me, it may not help you. Do it with a positive mind and see the change yourself. Now, clapping 5 times. This is something which I don't know if we will be able to understand. You have to start clapping with 1 finger. Clap it 5 times. 2 fingers, then clap it 5 times. 3 fingers, then do it 5 times. 4 fingers, and then the whole hand. Then repeat with the left hand finger, 1 finger, 2 fingers, 3 fingers, and like that. We have, every individual has got their own problem. This is something which I tried and learned myself, because my fingers, they used to get blocked. The finger would not move up. Something the movement was not proper. So I tried doing it. I knew I could learn, I could feel that, yes, stretching is required here. I needed to stretch. I needed to, the muscles to be very smooth. So I tried this. I started doing it during my morning and evening prayers. When I sit in front of God, it doesn't take more than 10 seconds. And my fingers, they were all very smooth. And you can also try doing Paschimottanasana, where you bend forward, and because as you bend forward, the stomach area, the liver, everything gets compressed. You will be stretching your feet also, you'll be stretching your legs, and it will give a better feeling to you. And you can also sit in Vajrasan pose post dinner, because after dinner you watch TV, or maybe just relax on your bed, you're watching your, seeing your WhatsApp messages and all. Why not just sit like this, sit in the Vajrasan pose, and your food also gets digested, and this is one of the best poses that you can do. Slowly, you can introduce these practices into your life. Another thing which I have found extremely useful is practicing Om. We all know that it is a spiritual sound, and it refers to the Atman, or the consciousness. It is extremely and highly spiritual and has creative powers. It combines all the three tattvas: Sattvic, Rajasic, and Tamasic. Now I am introducing 3 more words. I'm only introducing so that we all know, you will understand. Every body has got I would say a Sattvic body, Rajasic body, or a Tamasic body. The thoughts are also Sattvic, Rajasic, and Tamasic. So I'm only introducing these words to you. Think about it and see how far you want to go in that. Deepens meditators' consciousness. Once you practice Om, it will bring you more closer to your own self. It will bring you to the state of awareness. And as you chant, give 60% concentration to the part where you want to be more effective. Some people have problems in breathing, some have joint issues, some have knee issues, anything. So the moment you chant, you concentrate on that area. So here the manas, or the man, comes into the forefront. You should be able to do that. I'm not able to see. How do I see? So the moment you start those practices, you will be able to see your own self. It creates positive vibes. It increases concentration. It gives better immunity and healing power. It has cardiovascular benefits. And it may not be out of place to mention here, one of my pets was in a very last stages about 2 years back, and she was not able to walk around, and she was completely bedridden. My pet, she was a Dalmatian dog, and she couldn't move around. She used to be extremely restless because she was not able to move around. She started getting some issues. We knew that she was in her last stages. And that was the time when I was taking my yoga and meditation sessions, regular sessions. I tried Om on my pet, and you won't believe the kind of calmness it brought into her. She became so calm, I really got worried whether, she should, we want to see the chirpiness, we want to see the happiness, but it brought calmness in her. She could understand that, yes, it is my time to go, and she has to go, and she went away with complete peacefulness. We have seen videos where the small babies are not sleeping, the father chanting Om, and the child goes off to sleep immediately. So it is the benefit. It doesn't give benefit only to the chanter, but also to the people around you. So people around, even if they are not attuned to accepting it, they will get some or the other effect. It definitely gives strength to the vocal cords. It is extremely useful for senior citizens. And the physical change, it not only brings the internal changes, it brings physical changes, it brings positive glows, and which in turn also cleanses your body. Now, how you practice, how you have to design your own way of chanting Om. So the spinal cord, which is in the chest, it gets strengthened. So when we see that the word Om has got 3 words, A, U, and Ma. The sound A, it has to start below the navel. We have a solar plexus chakra here at the below our stomach, and when you start from the below the navel, it covers the solar plexus chakra, and it brings your chest to vibrate. I would say design your own way to chant this particular A. The sound U, it is created by the vocal cords. It brings benefits to the thyroid glands and the throat, and the sound has to come above the navel. Humming sound, which is the Ma. It cures headaches, it heaviness in the brain and the eyesight. Let me tell you, I practice this session, which is called Bhramari uh, chanting during my flights when I was taking long flights to anywhere where I was traveling. Obviously, you end up having jet lags and other things. 1 or 2 days get spoiled. You go with heavy mind and all. There's so much of sound around in the airplane. Nobody is going to be actually troubled by you sounding humming sound. Believe me, this humming sound could prevent me from getting any jet lag, and I was immediately attuned to the place where I was going, whether it was Europe or US. At the end, you have to merge chanting your M to the silence, so that when you get into silence, you are going deep within you. Again, I would say you have to design your own way of chanting Om. So these 3 letters embody the divine energy and the 3 main characteristics, which is the creation, preservation, and liberation, which we call Brahma, Vishnu, and Mahesh. We get connected to all other living beings, be it your own self, be it the people around you, the nature, and the universe. Beginning and ending of the yoga practice with Om helps us to connect to ourselves and universe in a deeper way. This is something which is available even by the Ayush. I've given in that same word Ayush also. But these are the some things which were always available in our, I would say, yogic books or any other such practices, where you drink warm water throughout the day, you practice yogasana, pranayam, meditation for 30 minutes, the turmeric milk, the jeera, the dhania, the coriander, garlics, they are recommended in cooking. These are the general measures. And simple Ayurvedic measures also they give for applying sesame oil, coconut oil. So these are the things which are basically available. And the more you practice, you will be able to do it. What has happened? Are you able to? Yes. And they also say to have your immunity, the promoting measures, you take Chyawanprash every day, you drink herbal tea or decoction. But yes, you need to understand your body and then take the decoction accordingly. Because as I told you earlier, the body also is of 3 types: Sattvic, Rajasic, and Tamasic. And sometimes if you take this herbal tea, which has been said, some people may feel the heat internally. So please design and make out what suits you the best. But yes, the golden milk or the particular turmeric milk helps you a lot to have your the immune system to be extremely, extremely strong. And during the cough and sore throat, these things have been given, and which I'm sure you would also be practicing, and they may be good. So with this, I complete my session, and we all know that clean soul resides in a healthy body. So the journey is yours. The documentation has to be done by you. The designing has to be done by you. So that's it.